Hello, hello. My name is Linda, also known as Tortajala around the internet. I love creative journaling and all things stationery. So today I wanted to share my Paper Republic leather traveler's notebook covers with you and how I'm going to use them with Moleskine notebooks for glue booking. So I think that making glue books, it's a very fun and relaxing thing to do that can also spark a lot of creativity. And pretty much, I think anyone can get some kind of benefit from having some form of glue book in your journal lineup. First, if you are interested in learning more about the Paper Republic covers that I have here, this is the undyed leather option, and you can see it's slowly getting patina through use. I've already done a video on these covers, so you can go and check out that video for specifics about the Paper Republic covers themselves. But in this video, I'm actually going to show you how I'm using them with moleskins inside. So the idea was actually spurred on by a comment I received in my previous video about how the Grand Voyager XL, this larger size, is actually too small to fit as standard A5 size notebooks. Paper Republic actually makes their own proprietary notebooks that work with this cover, but they do make a portfolio version that does fit A5 size notebooks. But that portfolio cover is significantly more expensive than these like traveler's notebook types. This Grand Voyager XL, it actually fits Moleskine large notebooks perfectly. As you can see, these are like chunky versions as well. And so if you're using the thinner Moleskine notebooks, you might be able to fit even two of them. So the XL size is perfect for the Moleskine large size. And this smaller pocket size fits the pocket size moleskins. The fit you can see is very flush, and I do have soft cover moleskins in here. The hardcover ones still fit, but to me they feel a little weird because the leather is like soft and smushy, but then it hits like the hard cover of the moleskin, and I just don't like that combination. So I prefer using the soft cover moleskins in these Paper Republic covers. So many of you might already know that it is pretty easy to find moleskin notebooks heavily discounted, especially if they're the dated ones from previous years. Now, generally, I have used moleskins for many uses over the years, and although the paper is questionable when it comes to using fountain pens or other very inky instruments, the books themselves I find to be really robust and hold up to long term use. I normally do a lot of art journaling, and I use a lot of materials and supplies on my pages, adding to the journal and really chunking them up. If a notebook doesn't have good binding, it will start to fall apart on me, but my moleskins have always held up. So I have these 2024 moleskin dailies in the large size and pocket size, and they fit perfectly in my Paper Republic covers. The reason why I got the dailies is because they are outdated and very inexpensive, and they have lots and lots of pages. I think they are really great notebooks to use, even if they are outdated, because you can just write over what is printed and ignore it, or you can easily change the date because the dailies have just a very small part where you need to change up the date or cover it up. But for those of us who like to collage, art journal, creative journal, you're probably going to cover up the pages anyway, so it doesn't matter that they are printed or have the wrong dates. So that's why I felt like glue booking would be perfect for these notebooks. The printed text just sort of fades into the background as I start adding things, and most of the time I'll probably be covering up the page anyway. Now, I'm no expert on glue booking. I feel like I sort of do all kinds of journaling. Usually in my journals, they are just everything journals, so every page could be a completely different technique or material. But if you're looking on resources regarding what glue booking is and what a glue book is, I would definitely recommend Marguerite Miller here on YouTube. Definitely check out her channel for loads of information explaining basically the 411 on what glue booking is all about. And there is another big glue booker YouTube channel run by Nicole. Her channel is Nicole Relax Cut Glue. And I learned the idea of doing color themed glue books through her videos. Very inspiring, so definitely go check her channel out. But the basic idea is that glue booking just means you're gluing stuff into a book. It could be a blank notebook, it could be an actual book that you are upcycling and using for this purpose. People use composition notebooks, cheap, journals that you find, an old book, or even bind together their own pages. It's as simple as that, gluing things in a book. And usually you see people are using magazine cutouts and ephemera, but you can use really anything: vintage items, modern day life ephemera, things you find, magazine cutouts, stickers, whatever you want. And although you could call that just journaling or maybe art collaging, I think the distinction for me is that the point of a glue book is that there is no other point besides gluing stuff in. With collage, it usually means there's some sort of design element part of it. You're sort of paying attention to how the elements go together and trying to create a composition. And you certainly can do that in your glue book as well. But to me, glue booking is supposed to be more relaxed than that. You can make it pretty, you can follow your own creativity, but the beauty of glue booking for me is having something really easy to do that is tactile and analog and fun, and it's really just about the process of doing, moving your hands, working with papers, materials. So it's enjoyable and relaxing. Again, it's all about the process as opposed to the end result. So these are going to be glue books for me. Truly a book where I will just be gluing things in, not drawing, not doodling, not painting, not trying to make it look good or have any kind of meaning or end product. Some people tend to fill up their page with many cutouts glued together, and it sort of fills up the entire space. But you can also just add entries with lots of white space. Makes me think sort of like collecting specimens, and that might work better in my smaller pocket moleskin since it is a smaller size. But the idea for me is like, I'm sure many of you can relate. When you come across a cool piece of paper or ephemera, something that you admire, but you don't really know what to do with it, and it just seems sort of sad to throw it away or recycle it, because not all ephemera is going to go into your scrapbook or your daily journal or your memory keeping. Sometimes it just doesn't fit. There's a lot of random stuff that catches my eye, but it doesn't really have a place to go. So enter the glue book. For me, it doesn't have to have rhyme or reason. It doesn't have to be dated. You don't have to write a meaningful caption to explain why you collected this piece of ephemera to glue in. The whole point of a glue book is just to glue things in because you want to. And I think it's a very creative activity because you are letting go of the rational thinking brain side and just going back to being a kid and just doing, just going by intuition and feeling. So you collect stuff and you glue it in a book. That's it. Easy peasy. Now, some of you out there might feel like, well, isn't that collage? And you might get caught up in wanting your pages to look nice and composed. And you know what? If that's your thing, then do that. But for me, I really just want to take the pressure off. I want this to be like the lowest hanging fruit, just something relaxing and fun to do that is super easy to do, even if I'm tired or have no creative mojo. And again, maybe it is the digression of going back to being a kid and just playing without pressure to have to create something that is a finished product or finished piece. Now, if you dive into the rabbit hole of glue books, you'll notice that there are different styles. There are people who do themed collages and cut out intricate images. There are people who uh, do a lot of fussy cutting and take a lot of time in composing their glue books. But there are also people who just cut out rectangles and squares and rip out papers and collage them together. You can also group your pages by theme or by color. There are a lot of different creative avenues to go down. So ultimately, you have to choose what you would like to do in your glue book. Maybe you want guidelines because you work better that way, or you can be like me and just let yourself be free and have just zero rules. I've just been thinking about all my journals and all the things that I love to create and document, but sometimes I'm just really tired and I'm not up to doing one of those types of journal entries that perhaps requires just a little bit more effort. And so the glue book is a great way to still practice creativity, use my hands, do something, but having it be just so easy to do. So, whatever it is I want to put in that I don't want to toss, but perhaps it doesn't have super deep meaning that it's going to go into my memory keeping journals, it's going to be in my glue book for just all the extra things. And when I want to do something and I want to feel creative, but I maybe don't have that much energy. So I can just spend some time filling up a glue book. And certainly, I'm using these very chunky moleskines, so it's going to take quite a bit of time to fill up. I think it's nice to have a glue book that lives on for many years. You can collage even over things that you've glued in before. If your tastes have changed or you just feel like doing that, it's like adding another layer into a book that ages with you. Now, even though I said that these glue books are supposed to be pressure free and not about the final product, like other projects that you may be working on, I think that one thing to note is that through doing this process, I think you will still find inspiration from your glue books. Inevitably, it'll just happen. Creative sparks will fly. So maybe that is the cherry on top when it comes to glue books. Because when you play with papers, there are colors, marks, symbols, and moving your hands, putting them together, these images, colors, lines, it's just going to get your creative mojo like brewing, no matter what. And oftentimes I have found that by doing this kind of exercise, just collaging freely and not really thinking about it, at the end of the day, I'll suddenly maybe see a color combo that I really like, and that will inform a design that I do later on. Or maybe the imagery just gives me an idea while I'm glue booking, and so just playing with the materials. It's almost like a way to warm up your creativity. So that's how I feel about it, and I'm going all in, setting up these moleskins that are certainly a commitment to fill up. And no doubt this will be a many year adventure. So, what do you think about the idea of glue booking? Do you already have a glue book, or maybe might you consider starting a glue book, but a smaller one, maybe an insert to begin with? I can definitely see a lot of people wanting to do this type of thing and very much enjoying the process of gluing things into a notebook while watching YouTube videos or Netflix. You can start simply by taking a small insert, scissors, some glue, and throwing it all in a box or a tray that you designate as your glue book project. So whenever you see something cool, ephemera papers, you collect it, you put it in this box, and every once in a while, you're just going to let yourself have some fun glue booking. What do you think of that idea? So let me know down in the comments your thoughts, your feedback, your comments. I would love to hear from you. And thank you so much for watching and supporting me here on YouTube. Until next time, bye.